Alrighty, let me just set this up real quick.
Sound is good on our end.
Okay.
So as soon as you're ready with the Instagram, we got a show ready for today.
Fabulous. Let me just pin this. Alright. Okay, good morning guys. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to another episode of Meal Prep Live with Better You. I have Dan and my sister here as always.
Hello.
And we also, for my Instagram people, are streaming live on YouTube and Twitch. It is better viewing experience because you can see my workstation, and my Instagram people, you don't just look at my back. So head on over there, just search Better You. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel because then you can watch the reruns, and if you have any questions about anything, you can just rewatch it and such. So today we are making chicken salad. So actually it's pretty cool, like with doing all these meal preps, I've expanded what I've been doing because I mean, typically I would just do like chicken, rice, and a veggie. But now, because we have a subscription service, I can't really do that because people don't want that every time. So it's cool. I'm kind of stepping out of my comfort zone, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Benefits everyone. So alright, so yes, chicken salad. This is pretty simple. So I have already cooked chicken that I did in the crock pot. And I just did it on low for about 6 to 8 hours. I was outside doing stuff, so I don't remember the specific length. And then I just put it in chicken broth.
Ooh.
I was about to ask, what did you put it in?
Yes, and I put it in chicken broth and just put it on low.
Chicken broth.
How much?
Now if you had cracked some eggs in there, you would have had like all chicken.
Yes, a full chicken.
Oh my god.
So, what'd you say? Oh, how much?
Yeah, how much chicken
I just
breast?
submerged the rest.
Okay.
So it was just like just to the top of them. Yep. And then we're not in my kitchen, we're in Dan's kitchen, and he has all these nifty tools. So today we're going to blend chicken.
It's food
It is
processing.
So yes, mechanically processed.
Mechanically separated
Chemically
chicken.
processed. Yep. All right. So this is really cool. I can put all that in, right? No.
I mean, you probably could, but
Let's not do that.
I just
All right.
do like one or two.
I'm just gonna look at your face and say no.
It's been a while since I've really tried to push the boundary of that.
Yeah. All right, so we're just gonna twist it. So this is just chicken, just the plain chicken. And where's the cap? Over here.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
You may have a little bit of trouble just because that sometimes it has to go on a specific direction, or you'll get it on the first try. Nice
Boom.
job.
Nice.
All right, so you're gonna do, well, for this specific one, you only have to do 3 pulses.
So
Put
first
up,
turn
turn
up.
on.
There we go.
Let's see. All right. 1.
Look at that.
Done. And this
Beautiful.
is taking place of using 2 forks and shredding it. So if you have ever done that before, you know how tired your hands can get doing that. So this is amazing. I need to get one myself. I only have one of the little ones.
So the other cool thing about that, it also, here if you want to just kind of hold this up for everybody to see,
Yeah.
that it's not just a
So
food
this comes with
process.
this that you can put on it.
It's also for
wait, let me
blending,
see.
making cool
Yeah.
shakes and all that fun
It
stuff.
looks so funny. It's like so little.
I know.
So it has 2
Huge
different
base.
sizes. That's like the single serving
Yeah,
one, but there's
sure.
also a larger one if you were making, well, you know, like an all day shake, or if you were making
Yeah.
one shake.
Like a batch.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that is hands down probably one of the most useful kitchen tools I've ever gotten. I don't use it a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, what
here
kind
we
of
go.
ninja is it?
So what do you?
So,
Yeah.
real quick, from Mrs. Brown, what is it called? It is a Ninja. So, you know, hashtag no ads. We are not sponsored by, we are not affiliated with Ninja, but gosh darn it, they make a really, really good blender and food processor. So,
Is my smoothies made by one?
Yep, look at that. So I would definitely recommend it
Yes.
if you have the money to invest in something that. Geez, I've had that thing for 4 years now, and I mean
Dang.
it's still
Wow.
as sharp as the day
Oh,
I
yeah.
got it.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Great, yeah.
All right, so this is just the last batch. Alrighty. Okay, just 3 pulses. All right.
I saw a little power surge there.
I did, yeah.
Ooh, I missed it.
I saw the first time. It's so powerful.
So, the Ninja is so powerful it draws electricity from the entire house.
Oh my god. Really?
Oh, and it automatically shuts off when you take the lid off.
Mhm.
So smart.
Yeah.
Doesn't want you to accidentally, remove digits.
I saw on TV, it was like the ER show.
Oh.
Some girl got one of the blades like lodged in her hand.
Oh.
Brutal. Okay. So, and this was 4 chicken breasts. About medium sized. So I just did it in the crock pot with chicken broth. Once that was done and cool, put it in here. All right, awesome. So I'm gonna move this out of the way so we have more space.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. All right, next I'm actually gonna put this is the bigger bowl, right? No, right here.
There's the big
Here it is. All right, so we're gonna transfer this into a bigger bowl so we have more room to mix.
Having enough room to mix is very, very important.
Vital.
If you have ever tried to mix a lot of substances in a small bowl,
It's very frustrating.
it's very time consuming because you have to go slow, otherwise you just end up with a lot of your food not in the bowl.
Yes. All right, and then I have pecans. And a trick with this, if you need a specific amount and you don't want to get it in bulk, just go to the bulk section and get one of those, because I go to Wegmans and it's the
Like make your own,
dispenser.
yeah.
Yeah, so like if I know I always get too much of everything when I have to make a recipe. So I just went in and grabbed what I needed. So we're gonna do a 1/3 cup of
Now
chopped
I was gonna say, are you
pecans.
gonna leave them up or are you gonna chop them up? Or are they already chopped?
Oh, I'm sorry. They were whole, but then I smashed them with my hand.
Okay.
Earlier, that was me banging on the
Yes,
counter.
yes,
Yeah, in the bag.
So,
In the bag, yes.
yeah, I was going to say, what's the process for that? Because definitely, if you've never tried to smash something before, there are some tips and tricks so that way it doesn't end up everywhere or all over the place.
Yep, so you can definitely keep it in the bag, but you can also wrap it in a towel sometimes if you want, and that will also keep it contained. Also, I typically use a meat cleaver
Oh,
to
that's good.
smash it. But, I mean,
Use, like, the
pecans are
flat end?
very,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're pretty heavy.
They're-
Rolling pins work pretty good too.
Yeah.
Or if you have a wooden mallet, I don't know why everybody doesn't have a wooden mallet in their kitchen.
That's funny. Okay.
Or I suppose you could use a big old mallet too. Although I wouldn't
You have
recommend
Yeah,
this
Dan
for
has
food.
one in his kitchen.
Yeah.
You did that for the floors, right?
Yes. This,
Yeah. Like, I remember
this
seeing that
tool
on
is
Facebook.
actually for making sure the floors don't separate.
Yes. All right. Okay, so we put the pecans in with the chicken in a separate bowl. We're going to mix the liquids and also the dry, but I'm going to do the liquid first. So I'm going to start with some mayo, and I'm going to do a 1/2 cup. Do you have a spatula?
I should have a spatula.
Oh, here we go. I don't even need you anymore.
Look at that. Hey, you know your way around my kitchen better than I do now.
Oh, it's over here. Oh, okay. All right, so we're going to do 1/2 cup. Oh, this is a big spatula. It's all right.
Listen, when I need my frosting, it's got to be like.
It's gotta
a
be
spatula.
big.
Yeah.
Heaping. A heaping serving. Alright. So we're doing a 1/2 cup. Then we're gonna do a 1/2 cup of plain Greek yogurt. So we're not using all mayo.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Just to give it a little something something. And then for our seasonings, we're using smoked paprika.
Looks like Odie's looking for.
Oh boy.
He's like, did anything fall off yet?
Not yet, honey. Not yet. You can let go. Alright. There we go. So we got a 1/2 cup mayo.
He blends in with your leggings.
I know. You could just see his little face.
Is he difficult? Actually, no, because he has some white. My dog is all black, so she's so difficult to get a good picture of. It
Yeah.
has to be like in the right lighting.
All
But you
right.
can see your eyes.
Go get him.
What is it?
Oh,
What?
I thought he was
Uh-oh.
gonna goatee up.
Oh jeez. Anyways, we got some plain yogurt. So, what is this? Oh, there's like a little film on the top. I don't remember that ever being a thing. What is that?
So I'll show everybody. This is a gift that a client gave me the other day. He pulled that photo right off
That's
Instagram. Yeah.
Oh, he
That's
showed
so
me he was doing
cute.
that.
Right.
That's amazing.
That's
That's so
adorable.
sweet.
Oh, let's see if I can get it without the glare. There we go.
That's awesome.
Show those
Aww.
peeps on Instagram too.
Dogs.
There he is in
Right?
a picture.
Dogs are everything.
That's great.
That's awesome. I love that. Alright, so we're doing, again, we're doing a half cup of plain yogurt, plain Greek yogurt, and we already have a half cup of mayo.
Right? Thank you, Fairy116. It was a gift from a client, a really good client, good friend too.
Yeah.
He pulled that photo right off Instagram, and I believe it's a custom piece too. Hold on, you know what? I love it so much. I'm gonna actually plug the person who makes these.
All right.
So that way, you guys at home, if you ever want something like that.
I'm sure they can do anything too. Like,
Oh, definitely. Custom pieces are in because so many people just,
is it
Like
specific
homemade
to
stuff.
pets? Or does it look
No, I
like-
don't think it's specific to. Or maybe it is. Forever True. Yeah, you know what? I think they do canvases for
oh,
pets.
that's sweet. Alright, next we're doing.
So that is
Yep.
Forever True. FUREVERTRUE. Forever True.
Cute. Oop, that needs to be mixed. Alright, next. What is it?
Thank you very much, Fairy. We're gonna be cooking up some chicken salad today. We do this every week on Sundays, and we cook something new each and every time.
Yes, and we also have a great discussion after.
Yes,
As
you
well.
should totally stick
Yeah,
around.
stick
We're going to be
around.
talking about micronutrients. Specifically, we're going to talk about vitamin E today.
Yes.
Good one.
Alright, so what I just did was put a 4th cup of Dijon mustard in, and that is it for our, actually no, I'm sorry, we have one more liquid, which is lemon juice, and that's just a tablespoon.
Lemon juice, huh?
Lemon juice.
Hmm.
Alright.
For some reason, I always thought mixing citric acid and mayonnaise would not be a great idea.
Try something
Shows what I know.
Alrighty. I'm gonna mix that up before we add in our seasonings, and then we're just gonna mix it all together.
I like this because
Yeah.
honestly, I just throw a lump of mayo into my.
Yeah, no,
Measure out
it's
that pure fat you're adding to your dish.
Right.
something different.
And I like that there's like the mustard must taste good with that.
Yeah, the Dijon definitely.
Yeah, and the nuts of course too.
Yep. Gives it that
Textures,
crunch.
yeah.
Yep. Okay, so we're gonna do some sage. We're gonna do a half a teaspoon. Okay.
Do I know anything about keto? Actually, it's
Ooh.
funny you ask. I have designed and written a 3-week keto program. It's self-guided. It comes with a success manual, a recipe guide, a meal plan. If that's something you're interested, let me shoot you a few more details. You can send me an email, and I'll definitely give you some more deets on that. We haven't actually sat down and discussed keto on the show yet.
We should.
Yeah, no, we definitely should.
Hot topic.
It's hot, it's popular right now, and everybody's curious about it. So you know what? Maybe that's what we'll talk
Next
about
week.
next week. We'll sit down and we'll talk about keto.
Yeah.
And then, you know, as I'm doing right now, I'll plug the brand new program that I have implemented into our Coach Catalyst software.
And that is now active.
Yes,
right?
it is.
And
It
you
is
have
now
a few
active.
people enrolled.
Yep, we have 3 people running through the
Very
keto
good.
program right now.
Awesome. That's
Awesome.
great.
Oh, nice, awesome, that's great. So have you gone and made sure you got all your food ready? Because it's definitely a big adjustment to the diet for a lot of people. I know my first time on it was definitely really hard to stay true to it.
And I haven't tried, so I do want to try this at some point just to see how
Yeah,
that
no,
initial
it's-
that feeling is in the beginning and like all that stuff you guys
Ketogenesis.
talk about. So
So speaking of which, I know we said we'll talk about keto next week, but real quick, this one's for you, Fairy. Really appreciate you interacting with us, by the way. But there's a mineral salt that I came across recently that is supposed to be really, really, really good for helping combat the keto flu. So if you've never done this before and you're not sure what the keto flu is, It's, that feeling when your body's really kind of run down because, well, essentially, you're changing over from utilizing carbohydrates for energy to starting to use ketones, and it can be rough for the body.
Yeah.
But it's called BHB salt, and it's an additive that you put in some of your foods, and it helps replace some of those minerals that you're not getting from the keto diet, or not getting at least in the surplus that your body needs, and it can definitely help combat that keto flu. If you do find yourself having those flu-like symptoms, make sure you increase your water intake and make sure you start adding a little bit of extra salt to almost everything that you eat.
Yep.
Yeah. So one of the big things, God, I'm just gonna keep talking. 'Cause I love talking about
Let's just
this.
talk keto today.
So one of the big things that happens is when you reduce your carbohydrate intake like that, your body is not going to hold as much water, which means a lot of the minerals that kind of float around and bind to those molecules aren't going to be readily available to you anymore. So that's also one of the reasons why you tend to find yourself in the keto flu is, well, you're dehydrated, your body's not holding on to water, you're not getting that same salt, those same minerals that your body needs. Best tips: stay hydrated, salt your food, and make sure that you listen to your body and really, really, really avoid the urge to kick yourself out of keto to satiate a craving, because then you're just going to kind of reset the whole process.
So how long is it? Is it only like a few days that you're kind of are transitioning over?
So it takes most people 3 to 4 days to fully transition from using carbohydrates into ketogenesis. Some people it can take longer. It definitely depends on, we've said this before, everybody's body is completely different, how you utilize nutrients, how your body processes things. But definitely, if you're having a struggle kicking over into ketogenesis, you may have to manipulate your carbohydrate intake just a little bit more. And definitely make sure that you focus on fibrous carbs, stay away from any kind of grains, anything like that. Like when you're on keto, the only source of carbs you should be getting carbs from are vegetables and a couple of berries. Like fruit, unfortunately, because of all the sugar that naturally occurs in fruit, it's not something you want to have a lot of in your diet when you're going keto. One really cool thing that I discovered when I first started doing keto cycles is I used to hate tomatoes. I used to hate peppers. Like I would put them in my mouth and just.
She doesn't like peppers.
I hate peppers. I love tomatoes though.
But I found that after I did my first keto cycle, I was so carb starved that vegetables, even tomatoes, just looked so appetizing. And I tried to eat one afterwards. It was like, wow, this is very palatable. Like this is not making me want to gag anymore.
See, you can use it for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
Palate reset.
Real quick to answer your question, Heather, on YouTube. Yes, this 3-week program is very similar to the challenge that I launched last year. It's basically it's the Keto 2.0, but now rather than it being a challenge, it's more designed in a course structure.
Great. All right, let me just finish this up really quick. So this is it, all combined. I'm going to show Instagram, and then my other peeps. So also when I get home, I will add to the side. I'm going to add some tomatoes and lettuce so that I can add to my pita bread, which I'm also going to obviously keep on the side. Don't want it to get soggy if you pre-make the sandwiches.
Yes.
And that's it. That's it.
So
Simple.
can we taste test it?
Oh yes!
Yeah, we're gonna start doing that, right?
I'm so excited you remembered. Where are your silverware?
Second drawer from the left.
This one. Okay.
So to answer your question, Fairy, so we are a team. This is our YouTube channel. This is my YouTube channel. This is Danielle's YouTube channel. This is Victoria's YouTube channel. We're still kind of young in our process of content creation. I mean, this is only episode 14, so wow, we've been doing this for 14 weeks now.
That's crazy.
Nice.
Wow.
But in the future, as we continue to progress, I know you're just meeting us for the first time, but I'm a personal trainer, and one of my big focuses, I'm going to start creating more content geared around fitness and exercise, while Victoria here sitting next to me, she's a nutritionist. She's going to be focusing a lot more on nutrition plans, meal plans, making our cookbooks, stuff like that. And then of course our lovely host Danielle, who's a little bit of everything all wrapped into one.
Yes.
Also, I'm making a macro program, guys, so that will be interesting.
Mm-hmm. You have a little something on your nose, I think.
Oh, probably
no.
from my drink.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Okay.
Hey, real sorry you guys, everybody who's watching. I'm going to switch over to our chat session, and unfortunately the camera's not going to be too cool for a second or two.
All right.
So hold on, we're still here. Don't disconnect.
All right. You
Well,
can tell your
that's
joke.
fine.
Oh wait, you can't tell it. You have to have it's a meme.
Oh.
I was like the fur seals. Okay.
For seals, no, for eels.
Oh,
I am for eel.
for eel.
Oh, see now everybody needs to know what we're talking about.
Oh.
Otherwise it sounds really weird.
Sorry guys. Slight.
There we go. All right. That's right. I gotta scoot back a bit so that way I don't completely crowd out Victoria. All right. So the whole fur eels thing. Let me show you guys that real quick. Where is it?
It's really bothering me that
So
they
you guys know the song by Outkast. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, right? So, oh, no, the camera's over there now. Jeez, almighty.
Oh.
There we
There we
go.
go. Beautiful.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I am fur eel.
Alrighty. Taste test.
Taste test
Oh, here we
time.
go.
We should have a rating scale. Eventually, like not yet because
I actually, in school, we did a lot
Yeah.
of taste tests, and there's like some very specific rating scales of
Yeah.
like texture. I'll pull it up.
I mean this is just
Chicken.
a rando, so I never know how it's gonna taste.
Oh, you've never made that?
No. Be honest. Is it good? Is it a
Yeah.
little dry?
No.
No?
I definitely the
Mustard.
mustard really brings out a good flavor
Yes,
in there.
it
I like
does.
that.
Can you taste the lemon?
No.
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 Okay.
Well, there's
But
a little
like-
bit of a citrusy
Yeah,
aftertaste.
take your
Okay.
Oh yes. I just finished eating it. Yeah,
Oh.
it's an aftertaste.
Cool.
That is good. I like it. Lots of different things.
Nice.
You should do some help for nutrition and fitness for stay-at-home moms.
Yes.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're definitely
I like
trying
that.
to touch upon everybody.
Yeah. No, but again, we've said this for those of you who've been with us for a few weeks now, and keep coming
The
back.
cat.
Cat's in the
That
bag. Oh yeah. By the way, that bag is not moving on its own. There is in fact a small animal in there. She's been in there for the whole show.
She has.
She has.
Yeah, she hasn't
I was
moved.
wondering.
She hasn't moved either.
That's cute.
But anytime you guys have suggestions for content you'd like to see, or things that would absolutely benefit you, I mean, we're doing this for your benefit. So definitely throw those suggestions at us, throw ideas, and we'll see what we can make happen.
Yes, absolutely.
So with that being said, today we are going to talk about micronutrition.
Yes.
So we've talked a lot about macronutrition, your proteins, your carbohydrates, your fats. Hey, buddy, what's up? But one of the things that we haven't really touched upon too much yet is the micronutrition. So first off, I just want to separate the two. What is macronutrition? What is micronutrition? Macronutrition are the
The cat.
Instagram gets you.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Go to YouTube.
YouTuber Twitch, Better
So-
University.
Macronutrition is the type of things that you get that we utilize for energy. These are things that your body can produce on their own. Your micronutrition are things, wait, am I saying this backwards?
Wait.
Micronutrition are things your body can't produce on their own, or is it the... Help me out here, nutritionist.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, can't your body not
I don't think it
create
either.
any?
I think it could probably create some
I mean, some micronutrients.
Okay,
But not
so
macronutrients, yeah.
I'm throwing this
Yeah.
backwards then. All right. So
I was
let's...
out to lunch on that one. I was just like looking at you.
We were discussing how foggy we were today going
Yeah,
into this.
Well,
too.
green.
pollen is
Oh,
fierce.
green.
It's been fierce for 2 days.
Pollen is
Forgive
very
us.
fierce. Sorry about that, everybody.
Alright.
So we'll gloss over that another time. So let's get a little bit more into micronutrition, and I want to talk about vitamin E specifically. So there's a whole bunch of different vitamins and minerals that your body needs that are considered micronutrition. Today our focus is vitamin E. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble vitamin, so I'm sure you've heard that word float around out there before, but what exactly does fat-soluble mean? So A fat-soluble vitamin is a vitamin that dissolves in oils and fats. So it's not something that your body is going to just absorb. But what happens is, inside of you, it dissolves and it mixes in and binds to the fat and the oils. And then as your body processes and uses those fats, that's how you get the benefit of the nutrition, of the nutrient from it. So anytime you hear something like, oh, it's a fat-soluble vitamin, you understand that it means that it's going to dissolve in oils and fats, and then it's going to be utilized through the fat or stored in your body, and that's how you have access to that vitamin.
And they're actually stored for a little bit longer in your body just because they're stored with the fat.
Yes.
Instead of water, which is the other one.
So that being said, it is important to note that fat-soluble vitamins are vitamins that you can, in fact, overdose yourself on.
Right. A lot
So-
more than the water soluble, that's
Yes,
for sure.
because water soluble, like, your vitamin C's, stuff like that, you're just going to be urinating them out pretty much immediately after you take them in.
Yeah.
That's why, you see things that are like, here's 3,000% of your daily vitamin C.
Right, and you could never do that with the fat soluble ones. You gotta really pay attention.
Yes.
Like, I take B vitamins sometimes, I gotta buy some more. I mix it in water, because it's water soluble. And when I use the bathroom, my pee's a different color, like probably a few hours later, so it's pretty quick.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. But that's also, why you can have more of it and not be too worried. So
Exactly.
I don't want to scare anybody to think, oh my gosh, I have to be careful of how much of these I get.
Stay aware.
Generally speaking, if you have a nice, healthy diet and you're not taking gobs of supplements, you're never going to have to worry about something like
And
that.
honestly, vitamin E is extremely difficult to overdose on or be toxic with, so.
Yes. So, fairy, berry, oh wow. Did you two plan that out, or?
Very.
I actually have a whole list right here that we're going to be getting into in just a second to discuss some of the foods that you'll find the most amount of vitamin E in. One of the big things is a lot of your fattier type foods, you're going to find a lot of vitamin E in. So almost any kind of nut you can come across. So your almonds, your walnuts, your peanuts,
Nut
your
butter.
pecans,
Yeah.
your nut butters, your nut oils. Those are going to have a good source of vitamin E in them. The fattier meats like goose and salmon, those are also going to have a nice high source of vitamin E in them. Eggs, you can get some vitamin E from.
Mayo a little bit.
Yep.
There you go.
So actually, I learned this one not too long ago. Mayo is made of egg whites.
Yes!
Who would have thought? I guess
Did you
growing
think it
up,
was
I just
dairy?
thought it was like just pure fat and dairy. Yeah.
Lard.
Yeah.
Hunks of
Yeah,
lard.
because I don't eat dairy and I eat mayo and I love mayo.
You love mayo.
It's actually
You don't just eat it. That's good.
Some fruits that you'd be able to find vitamin E in. Again, these are going to be like your fattier, more fleshy fruits, like your mangoes, your kiwis. I believe even there are some berries that have vitamin E in them too. Cranberries, yeah, actually cranberries are a pretty good source of vitamin E. Blackberries, a pretty good source of vitamin E. Looking at our vegetables, you're going to be looking at a lot more of the green type vegetables.
Yep.
So your Swiss chard, your asparagus, your broccoli,
Spinach.
your spinach. Beet greens are going to have a lot of vitamin E in them as well.
When in doubt, green leafy vegetables.
Always.
And I mean, there's so many
Always.
good micronutrients that you get from green leafy vegetables
yeah, we
in
just
general.
had our question on Instagram, where do vegans get their calcium? And honestly, a lot of it's in the green leafies.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Certainly.
Oh man, that would be a really great episode to cover sometime too. Is how do you survive in a world as a vegan? I'm not a
Actually,
vegan.
you know what?
that's a good
What?
one.
Someone on Instagram
That's a
asked me
tough
when I
one.
was gonna make a vegan meal,
Oh, okay.
but there is some interest
Yeah.
Okay.
of
for
course.
vegan materials.
Good to know.
So.
We'll jot a little note down
Right
on
in
that.
the book here.
Yeah.
So vegan.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Just like protein intake for
Protein,
vegans.
B vitamins, the calcium,
Yeah.
like someone asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely some things.
So, not to get off topic too much, but just to kind of branch from that, there is a lot of protein and good nutrition that you find in plant matter and plant foods. But we're always so focused on the meats. Don't get me wrong. I love my meat. I love my grill. As bad as it is for me, as bad as it is for the planet, I probably will still continue to eat it in slight excess. But I enjoy it. Life is short. Being healthy, being fit is great. But at the end of the day, if you're pursuing it and you're not happy,
Yes.
Right.
You gotta keep the quality of life in mind. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty comprehensive list of
Yeah,
all the
that
different
was
things
good.
you're gonna
That was good.
find where you get vitamin E.
I'm just looking at my list, and I think you really got them all.
All right,
Yeah.
nice. Anybody out there viewing? Do you know a really good one that I may have missed?
And as with anything, it's better, of course, to
I forgot broccoli, my favorite
No, I think we
too.
got it.
Cruciferous.
Didn't we?
No, I did not say
Oh, you don't have-
broccoli.
I think
I
you
have it
did,
written
though.
down, but I didn't say
Ah.
broccoli.
We gotta go back because I think you said it. I think you said it, but doesn't have
Alright,
it
we'll
written down.
check.
I swear.
Well, either way, berry broccoli is absolutely my favorite too. Thank you for bringing that up, and if I missed that one, I apologize.
Yeah.
Um,
But
so,
no, wait, I was just saying that just as with anything, it's better to eat in food
Oh,
form
yes.
rather than supplement.
yes, yes.
But of course, supplementing sometimes is necessary, but try to get it from your
It's
diet
just in
first.
addition to. I
Yeah.
actually have a patient right now that
Make
just
it
wants to
right.
drink all Ensures, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
It's much, much better to get your nutrients from real food.
Yes, spinach as well. Absolutely spinach. Any of your green leafy vegetables, green vegetables in general, you're gonna find some vitamin E in there.
Yep.
So, I keep using the word green when I say your green vegetables. Pardon me, 1 second. So, there's a candy manufacturer that once upon a time had a really awesome slogan, and that slogan was "Taste the Rainbow."
Yes.
Now, when they said that, when they used that slogan, they really were talking about because their candy was very colorful, so, taste the rainbow, ha 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 ha. But I have taken that because I thought that was such a great slogan, and I decided to adapt it to healthy eating. So when you think about micronutrients and your vitamins, taste the rainbow. If you have a very colorful diet that ranges the spectrum, you are never going to find yourself deficient in any
Absolutely.
micronutrient. It's just not going to happen. So the cool thing about that is vegetables and fruits will typically give you an idea of what micronutrients they have based on their color. So again, we keep talking about green leafy vegetables. So you're going to find a lot of iron in green leafy vegetables. You're going to find a lot of vitamin E in green leafy vegetables. And that's a common theme amongst them. That isn't to say you're not going to find those things in other other vegetables and whatnot, but it's just, if you need to keep it simple, just think about expanding the color range. So you always want something green with your food, and then typically what I'll do is I'll try to throw in something red as well, and then maybe the next day something yellow, and then the next day something orange. Like you don't have to make sure every single meal has the entire rainbow.
Although it is satisfying when you make like a salad.
Yeah, it's colorful.
Nice rainbow
It's also
salad.
a nice Instagram picture, by the way.
But yeah, so as long as within like a week span you're covering most of the colors,
That's a good
you're going to
point.
be all right. Because again, we talked about, especially these fat-soluble vitamins, your body's going to dissolve them, they're going to bind to the fat, and you're going to store it. Yeah, we store fat. Even if you don't have a lot of fat, you're still storing small amounts of fat, and that's where the vitamins are going to be bound to. So again, you've got a week to make sure you're kind of hitting everything as you go.
Great. What is the benefit of the
The health
vitamin E?
benefits.
Ooh, the health benefits.
Oh, I
I'll let
need
you
it.
take that one over.
Well, actually, so it's an antioxidant. If you want to explain the free radicals first.
Yes.
Ah,
So
story time.
I wanted to get a little scientific with you guys today and try to do my best Bill Nye. And when I say that, or what I mean when I say that is, I want to take a complicated scientific thing with what's going on with free radicals inside your body, and I want to try to explain it in a way that's going to be very easy to understand. So when you have free radicals, what that means is it is an oxygen atom inside your body, and it has been separated from its electron. Now, if you have a science background, what you'll know is that atoms are always trying to find this balance. They want to feel stable. So now that it's missing that electron, it's very unstable, and it's free, and it's radical, and it's traveling around your body,
It's like,
and it's looking.
Literally.
Like just like
Freaking out.
That's a
partner.
Yeah.
But that's it, is these free radicals are looking throughout your body for an electron. Now, unfortunately, they're not just going to sit around and wait for another free electron to grab onto. They're going to go over to one of their partner atoms, and they're going to say, hey, I like your electron. I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is these molecules, these free radical molecules, start binding to your other cellular tissues. And what ends up happening is you create damage to the cell. You create damage to proteins, to DNA. So as these, again, I mean, I'm kind of repeating myself at this point, but as these free radicals are bouncing around looking for an electron to call their own, they're causing mayhem and havoc.
Yes.
So we go back to what vitamin E does in your body. It is an antioxidant, another one of those awesome buzzwords. But what an antioxidant does is it prevents the oxidative process of free radicals. It defends against them.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that's important to notice is free radicals occur because of the oxidative processes happening inside your body. As we turn our food into usable energy, the byproducts of that are those oxidative molecules. All right?
Yeah.
Great explanation.
So our cells have a membrane of lipids, which is fat, and so vitamin E actually stabilizes that membrane against the free radicals. It gives that free radical what it wants so that it doesn't damage that outside membrane too.
Yes.
So that's a little bit more information on that.
So we've got a really awesome question here from our viewer Heather. So from what I have read a lot of, our immune system strength depends on gut health. Now I'm going to stop right there just for a second to harp on this. There has been a lot of emerging science and studies recently that has been linking gut health directly to many of the ailments and many of the positive things that we encounter in our day-to-day lives.
Yeah.
This is still an emerging science. There's a lot of stuff that they don't know about it. They're just starting to draw these conclusions from all these lines that are starting to sync up. So I love that question because I really feel like within the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to have some really groundbreaking things involving gut health and how it affects our immune system, our environment, everything.
Even your mental health.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've heard many times
Serotonin.
them say it's our second brain.
Yep.
Basically,
Yeah.
with what the science has proven.
Absolutely.
so far. Yeah.
So the second part, moving on from there, so I'm an EMT and I'm around sick people. What vitamins should I take to help out my immune system?
Vitamin C, and also vitamin E, which is also an antioxidant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think.
But
of
again,
what-
get those from food sources first
Yes.
before supplementing.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't just automatically draw to a supplement.
Just remember, the word supplement means supplement.
Yes.
I know you're not supposed to.
Take a step back.
I know you're not supposed to use the word to describe the word, but that's exactly it.
Supplement means
If you're
supplement.
supplementing your diet,
Yeah.
that means your diet should not consist of the supplement. It's just filling in those
In
little
addition to,
holes.
Exactly.
You know, when you're making a wall, you have a gap, so you take a supplement and you cram that supplement into that missing place.
Yes, like a
That's
puzzle
what
piece.
supplements are for. So I want to touch on vitamin C real quick. Not to get into vitamin
Yeah,
C,
yeah.
but one of the reasons why we know it's such a great immuno booster, so there's another one of your buzzwords for you. Have you ever heard of airborne?
Yes.
Yes.
So this was a tablet developed by a teacher who was traveling a lot.
I know
And
I was a teacher.
one of the things to understand is when you're traveling in a plane and you're up in a cabin, you are breathing recycled air over
Yeah.
and over and over. The other thing is you probably did not hydrate as well that day as you normally do. So now you're sitting in an area, you're dehydrated, there's pressure building on your sinuses, and you're also breathing in recycled air that everyone else in that plane is breathing in and breathing out. So what this person decided is, I'm going to make a tablet that you can dissolve in water and drink, and it'll help you not succumb to sicknesses that come from travel and air. It's a vitamin C tablet.
Yep.
It is a tablet of vitamin C.
Is there anything else in it though? Like kind of a
Probably.
sinus congestion thing, I
Alka-Seltzer.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Alka-Seltzer. That is so funny. I always take an emergency, which is similar to airborne, anytime I start to feel sick, and I swear it works so well. It really does.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and the one with you can get one that is enriched with like vitamin D and
Yes.
something else. I forget. Oh, and
Zinc?
zinc.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are just I love emergencies.
Love zinc.
Yeah.
Great.
So we had another follow-up question on that. How about probiotics?
In terms of
Immune
health.
immune health and immune system health, yeah.
Huh. I mean, I'm guessing that would help a lot. But
Absolutely.
gut health in general, if we're keeping care of our gut, that's gonna help a lot. So it will provide good bacteria that also yogurt too. It's in yogurt and stuff. A lot of people are. Do you take them?
No.
Probiotics? Didn't you before?
I did.
Yeah.
But
For
then
what reason?
It like disrupted. So I was trying to tackle my brain fog issues.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, so the gut and
The brain
mind.
fog and I think some digestive issue. And it didn't really help. It made it worse.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I was
so-
gonna say that it really works in only certain situations, and that you
Because
can
we still don't
also
know
take
a lot.
too many, and your body forgets
Yeah.
how to fight things. So you gotta find middle ground, and you gotta find a real reason to be taking a probiotic. I think, but they're good.
So I think a good little parallel for this. Again, we're talking about gut health, all that fun stuff. So, what is really going on when we talk about gut health? So, for those of you who are not aware, you have an entire ecosystem of bacteria living inside of you. Quite frankly, I believe this is a true statistic. Please don't quote me because I don't want to be wrong, but I believe this is a true statistic. There are more bacteria inside of you and on you than you have skin cells.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
You are more bacteria than you are human.
Well, our intestines are so long.
Well, I never thought of it like that.
We are just walking bacteria.
Giant cucumbers filled with anxiety and brimming with bacteria.
I know.
So, now that being said, what a probiotic does, and there's a reason why there are different kinds, because not all probiotics are the same. They don't all do the same. A probiotic is a selection of bacteria that, whatever the manufacturer has decided, this particular cocktail of bacteria is beneficial for gut health. Now that being said, imagine for a moment, in this little ecosystem you've created, that you have a tribe. Let's just call it a tribe. A tribe of bacteria
I love it.
that really does not get along well with another tribe. And in fact, they fought wars over it, and one of them completely eliminated the other. And everything was, maybe not necessarily in harmony, but it was status quo. Now you introduce that probiotic, and all of a sudden, you've now reintroduced a bacteria that has essentially been eliminated and gone extinct from your stomach. And you take the probiotic and sure enough, there's a war going on again. So as far as probiotics are concerned, don't automatically assume that a probiotic is going to improve your gut health.
Yeah.
What it's going to do is it's going to disrupt the current status quo of the bacteria in your gut. And if you're lacking something that is beneficial, it will help. But if you aren't lacking something that's beneficial, you can tip the ecosystem in the wrong direction.
That's a good
So let's give that a little bit more of a parallel. Think about it if somebody were to overhunt a predator species. As soon as you overhunt that predator species, the herbivore species is now going to grow, their population is going to boom. And then that's going to affect the environment negatively. It's the same thing with what's going on in here. Ecosystems all really work under the same principles. There's a balance, there's a homeostasis. When the balance is out of whack, that's when we don't feel good. When we are in balance, we feel good. That's why you can eat a whole bunch of crap foods and not necessarily feel bad, because you have cultivated an ecosystem that tolerates and deals well with that. But on the flip side of that coin, that's also why once you start eating healthy, and you eat healthy for a long period of time, and then all of a sudden you run out to McDonald's and you scarf down that cheeseburger and you're like, oh my God, I feel so horrible and awful. It's because the bacteria in your gut have no clue what to do with that cheeseburger. It's like somebody just dropped a meteor out of the sky and was like, well, it's been good.
Deal with it. Deal with
That's
it.
funny. Also, I just want to mention that if you do take probiotics, prebiotics are basically fiber that feed the bacteria. Just a side note, because a lot of people don't know that.
So there is one last thing that I want to say about probiotics too, and this is relevant just because I was just recently discussing this with a client. So a client of mine, he called out of his session and said he rolled his ankle. I was like, oh man, that stinks, that's awful. And then the next day, he was supposed to contact me to kind of let me know what was going on to see if it was feeling better. Didn't get a response. The following day, I get a follow-up, hey, sorry, ended up in the ER with an infection in my ankle. He didn't roll his ankle, he had a skin infection that was causing so much pain and discomfort. So they put him on a really, really heavy-duty antibiotic.
And that's when the probiotic.
So, again, we discussed how there's a lot of bacteria living inside your gut. If you get prescribed a really heavy-duty antibiotic, it is going to wipe out your ecosystem. Which is why a lot of times if you get prescribed a heavy antibiotic, you get a probiotic with it. Because the idea is, well, now that you've just wiped out the entire population of your gut, you need to repopulate it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was on, for a while, I was on the antibiotic for my skin.
Doxycycline, and that is
And
just
that
a really rough one
An
too.
extended period of time before,
They use it for
I think
Lyme
we even,
disease.
really?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, so I did that for my acne for like a long time. And I had a lot of digestive issues after, and I never linked that because, I mean, we weren't really aware of it back then,
this
you
was
know,
way long. This was
so,
a
Yeah.
long time
but
ago.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Antibiotics are wild.
They are.
So again, just to recap on that, like the whole thing with gut health, this literally is like a new science. So if you're a nerd or a geek like me, follow this
It's
stuff.
awesome, yeah.
You
It's so
will
cool.
not be disappointed.
It's gonna be
It's
good.
the way I equate it is, imagine if you were hanging out with Galileo and he's just like, we are not the center of the universe. And you're like, oh shit, we're not the center of the, what? And then you start following all of his discoveries and you're like, wow, this is so cool. Yeah, that's kind of like how I feel right now with gut health. and
Yes,
probiotics.
actually.
But you know what's
That's like-
funny? A lot of companies are using it as marketing.
Of
So far,
course.
like microbiome, it's like, you don't even know what it is
What is
yet.
that?
Exactly, what is that? Yeah,
That's
so.
Yeah, so that's another
just
thing to
funny
keep
seeing
in
that.
mind.
Don't be
You
fooled.
are going to start
Yeah.
to see a lot of that as these buzzwords become more popular. There's going to be companies marketing this stuff to you. Just please, like everything else, do your homework
Yes.
or find a reputable source that is staying on top of this cutting edge stuff.
Or ask us.
Because I can promise you, as soon as these first rounds of things hit the market, the amount of study that has gone into that product, well, it's only going to be a month or two.
Yep.
How much information can you honestly have off of that?
Right.
And then another thing to consider is a lot of these supplement companies, especially since they're going to be brand new, they're not going to have to go through any kind of regulation because
Yeah.
it's brand new. Which means, again, they can make up crap and not be held responsible for it. So, again, when all this stuff starts coming out, because trust me, it's right around the corner,
Absolutely.
protect yourself and don't just jump on something because the colorful video made it look really cool.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Great.
Man, that was
That was
awesome.
fun.
I think
Yeah,
we totally
awesome.
covered vitamin E and we went off on
Expanded.
plenty of side tangents
So
there.
I know we talked about the science, but I just want to recap about what it is for healthy for yourself.
Yes, yes.
So it's good for cancers. It can help prevent cancers. Eye health. What else did I have here? And also
Explain
the
why it's good
cataracts.
for eye health
So,
though.
I never
oh
knew
my
this.
gosh.
So cool.
I gotta still look into this. It's very complicated. But over time, your eyes and like hold on to these free radicals, and it just helps keep that stabilized. It's like inside of your eye.
And
they
that's
just
the
build up.
cataract, foggy,
Isn't-
glossy
yes,
look.
exactly.
Yep.
So that's real. The broken free radicals, or I think they're the rods and cones and stuff
So
like
just
that.
kind of like binding to
Yeah.
those things
So-
inside your eye, right?
Isn't
And then you
that
have this,
crazy?
this little growth.
Yeah. So that
So
fog you see in the cataracts is just a buildup of all these like waste. And
Ah!
Isn't
So
that
cool.
wild? And then there's a whole nother. I don't know if you guys have heard of macular degeneration, but that's a whole nother like similar situation, but in a different part of the eye. So.
So
Yeah.
cool.
Of course, it reduces inflammation too. That's a huge one for vitamin E, and I think antioxidants in general too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Antioxidants are really
And
good
it
for
also
inflammation.
helps keep your blood consistency good. So you can prevent blood clots.
Not too thin, not too thick.
Perfect amount.
Yeah. So it's
Nice.
a good one. Oh, and then heart disease. It helps with the LDL cholesterol and stopping the plaque from adhering to your
Is LDL good or bad?
LDL is bad cholesterol. Sorry.
It's okay.
So low density lipoproteins versus high density lipoproteins. The low density ones are the ones that you would like to not have a lot of.
Yes.
Mhm. There we go.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's it.
All right. Hey, if you guys have any other questions, now's the time to start asking. We're going to be doing our show wrap now. Yeah, so if you had a great time hanging out with us today, please hit that like button, hit that follow button, subscribe. Anytime we get those numbers up, it really helps us out because again, we do this for you guys. I could think of plenty of other things that I could not do with my Sunday morning, but I love this stuff. I love interacting. I love answering questions. I love helping people kind of find their way because let's face it, there is a ton of information out there. There's a lot of really smart people out there that are giving good information, but there's also a lot of people out there that aren't giving good information.
Yes.
So Fairy, to answer your question, every Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless we denote at the end of a previous show, that we're kind of deviating from that, we always try to make sure it's every Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, so that way we're on a pretty good and consistent schedule.
Yes. Yeah. And then how do we subscribe? So go to mybetteruniversity.com and then find to subscribe to the meal prepping. What is it under? Course catalog?
Yes. So what Victoria is talking about is we also have a subscription service beyond just subscribing to the YouTube channel, that stuff. $5 a month, you subscribe to our service, and what we cook on the show, you get the recipe and grocery list for that the Monday before the show. So that way you've got like a whole week to do your grocery shopping, get prepped up, and then you can cook with us as we do it live, or you can go back and watch the replay and you can cook on your own.
Or you can just save them up.
Yeah, you can save them up too. We definitely have a couple people that are making their own cookbook out of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So every week, new recipe. As Danielle said, she's really starting to branch out and expand the box a bit.
Yes, I am.
So Fairy, you are from Australia. Wow! Thank you so much for tuning in all the way across the drink.
Very cool.
I'm not entirely sure what the time exchange there is. I think it's like 16 hours or something like that. Yeah, so 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for us is probably a much different time for you. Actually, you may even be the following day.
Well, what time is it right now for you?
Yeah, that's a good question. What time is it for you right now?
Yeah.
In Australia.
It's almost 12 noon here.
1:30 a.m.?
What?
Wow.
Go to bed.
As a stay-at-home mom, I assume you're probably taking care of those kiddos, making sure they don't wake up, right? Wow. So, I mean, if you're available, definitely tune in at that later hour for you. But we do also have replays of every show on our YouTube channel. And I believe the replays are also stored on our Twitch for a little bit. So you can always definitely check those out on YouTube or Twitch if you aren't able to catch the show. But, yep, every Sunday we're here.
Lots of fun. And next week we'll talk about keto.
Yeah, let's do keto.
So we've got Fairy and Barry, our Twitch viewers today. Fairy's from Australia and Barry's from Costa Rica.
Oh,
look at that! We're getting a little international here.
I like it.
Oh, fantastic! I love this. You know, I love knowing that I can be sitting in my kitchen in Massachusetts, and here I am. I'm having a conversation with somebody from Australia, and I'm also having a conversation with somebody from Costa Rica at the same time.
Yes.
God, isn't technology amazing, you guys? But anyways, yeah, just that same shameless plug, our subscription service, $5 a month. You can find it on our website, www.mybetteruniversity.com. It is in our course catalog. Yeah, that's our show.
Yay.
Have an awesome Sunday or Monday for those of you that are not on Monday. And we'll catch you guys next week.
Yay.
For Keto Talk.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Keto topic.
Keto.